Hi, I welcome you to our establishment. Before you get in, it's my duty to give you this note. You must keep it with you at all times, no matter what. Things here are a little bit uncommon, so to ensure your safety and a nice experience, we recommend you to read in detail the paper I delivered to you. This contains rules you have to follow. Please don't ignore them. Please don't ignore them. I was received into the supermarket with these words. I'm currently vacationing in a small town where a ridiculously small number of inhabitants live. Everything was pretty normal until I decided to come here to basically get all the necessary things to stay alive during my time in this place. When I heard those words coming out of the mouth of that employee, I was struggling to comprehend what she meant. I couldn't imagine any similar situation happening anywhere else in the world. Perhaps being in a place with only a few people, they prefer to keep safe with rules to avoid thieves or problems in general. Whatever, I would just buy what I needed and then simply leave and enjoy my trip. I took a cart and I noticed an uncomfortable calm around the place. An absolute silence. There wasn't any more noise than the inevitable people's movements. There wasn't any more noise than the inevitable people's movements. This intrigued me enough to read the paper, which I had decided to ignore despite the employee's alert. It dictated, 1. Do not interact with any client. Avoid them at all costs. Each person here has to follow the rules as you do, so they will neither disturb you. 2. If a person wants to exchange words with you, ignore them. If they insist, communicate the problem to one of our security guards. You can easily distinguish them among the clients by their uniform: cap, shirt, trousers, and boots. Any person missing one of these clothes is not part of our staff. Once you've done this, walk the farthest you can and do not look behind. 3. If you are the one breaking the rule, beg so that person does not call the guard. As soon as you realize you've broken a rule, get away from the hearer immediately. 4. Speakers are going to be the only thing you will listen to here. These communicate typical information such as lost kids or particular situations in some areas. Feel free to ignore it. If at any time a countdown of 2 minutes starts, search for an excellent hideout. If at any time a countdown of 2 minutes starts, search for an excellent hideout. Believe me, you do not want to be found. Ignore anything you hear and anything you see. You must be there for another 2 minutes. Once the time is passed, you can continue shopping. This rule is unlikely to occur, but you better keep alert always. If the speakers start saying your name, close your eyes, cover your ears, and wait 30 seconds. If they have not stopped, find a guard to accompany you to the place you are being called from. Now, you must be totally focused. If the guard is taking you to the office next to the entry, tell him that it is not your turn to get in yet. The guard will let you go. On the other hand, if the guard seems to go upstairs, you are dead. Run, search for the closest exit, and luckily you will manage to escape. Take into account Rule 12. 6. Accidents can happen. If a product breaks or its contents made a mess, communicate it to the janitor. He is not always in the same place, but do not ignore the situation. Find him and tell him about the 04 code, but not where. Get the farthest you can from the zone of the accident. 7. The janitor is always carrying a bucket full of water and a mop. If you find him without these things, maybe it is better for you to keep what happened in secret. 8. There are some products which you clearly have not ever seen before, products which stand out for being things that humans would not consume. Do not take them out of their place, do not touch them, and do not buy them. They are not for you. If you're seen with any of these in your hands, you will be thought to be with them. If you break this rule, there is nothing we can do for you. 9. If you want to know any product's price, you can reach one of our screens, which includes a barcode reader. It is probable that when you are scanning a product, some particular images appear on the screen. Stare at them until they disappear. They will try to distract you, but you must be strong. 10. Security cameras are only located among the hallways. If you see one anywhere else, tell the guard that they are seeing too much. He will understand and solve the issue. Do not look at the camera for a long time. You have to be really sure about this rule. The guard hates wasting his time, so think it carefully. 11. To pay for your products, we only have 12 cash registers working, which are put in order. If you see any of it with a different number, or a number which is not in order, do not queue in that one. 12. You must give this paper back to the guards next to the exit door. They will not remind you of it. This rule is entirely your responsibility. If you break this rule, you may have some unexpected visitors at home. If you had to follow Rule 5, just make sure that at least the paper is inside this building when you leave. Please do not make things difficult, neither for you nor our clients, and follow every step carefully. Everything will be all right. We hope you have the best possible experience. I was aghast. What in the world did I just read? I stopped looking at the paper just to find out that I was alone. I couldn't get where people would have gone until my brain decided to pay attention to what I was hearing through the speakers. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Shoot! All the lights suddenly turned off. I couldn't believe they weren't joking. Alone against the unknown, I tried to keep calm, firstly checking my cell phone to call for some help, but no signal was there. I started feeling that I had to run, but I couldn't move until I heard strong footsteps coming directly to me. It was too late. I was taken by hands with a texture I find very hard to describe. And those were the longest 2 minutes of my life, until the light came back. I had no clue where I was, but according to what I saw through the windows, I was at that office the rules mentioned, sitting on a chair. I could recognize a human voice in the room next to me. When the door connected between the two opened, the ugliest and most terrifying man I had ever seen appeared and just sat at his desk. He started writing on some kind of documents, but without taking an eye off of me. I couldn't remember the last time I had been that terrified. Although I had spent hours inside that office, I couldn't relax at all. I was starting to feel really tired. My body and mind demanded me to rest. That sense of tiredness was suddenly interrupted by screams, followed by the lights turning off again. How was I handling all of this pressure? I have no idea, but it surely helped when I saw a girl right next to me. We were both in the same situation. Some may think that it's arrogant, but one part of me was happy to have some human company with me. The supermarket closed, and the man writing the document stood up from his chair. I was amazed when I found out I ignored how enormous he was. He grabbed us and started taking us to another place. How could we escape from such a beast? Apparently, we were on the zone where meat was produced. The first thing which caught my attention were the jars. Hundreds of them, all throughout the place, filled with, as you may think, meat. What, was it human? Were those jars the products that the rules said humans would not consume? I really didn't want to find out. I had to escape. Every scenario I imagined ended in a fatal way, but I had to try. I didn't want to become food for who knows what. Only 2 chefs were with us. They were as horrific as the man who brought us here. At least we were able to move. I could beat it. I stood up and started running to the only window there, planning to break it with the chair. Those creatures seemed not to be conscious at all, and it was the perfect opportunity. Until I remembered about the girl. I yelled at her to hurry up once, twice. She didn't react. Anyways, I don't know about her, but I wanted to live. Again, where it all started. I had to find an exit, but everything was locked. It couldn't have been that easy. I heard some vehicles outside. They were being received by some employees to get some new products. I only had to wait. Not taking so long, my time arrived. The doors opened, and I run as fast as an Olympic runner when I heard a voice telling me to stop. It was that girl. I started to turn pale when I saw where I had run through. A cash register with the number 87 above it was right on my way. And then I fainted. Now, I'm here alone, waiting for something to happen, I guess. In an endless room with the supermarket's appearance, just that and me. I hope that if this message reaches a sane person, it'll be enough for them to stay away from this place. I don't know if I'll return, but if I do, my life will surely be a nightmare. And I still have this stupid paper with me.